Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the final Sunday night of Project Athena, this Pulp Cthulhu campaign that started so long ago with these fantastic people. I'm here for the end, everyone, and I know that GMs, keepers, and DMs aren't supposed to say such crazy things, but you will hear me say this right now, and I mean it with every atom of my being. I want these players to win tonight. I want them to win in the most glorious fashion. I want them to finish a tale that is sung with notes I've never heard. And I want them. And that is all. And so, as your keeper decides when he's going to lose his shit, not if, I will hand it off to my beloved Olympians as we go around one last time for name, rank, and serial number, which in this particular instance, who are you? Who will you be playing? And how do you feel? My friend Lauren.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter, she, her pronouns. And for the last time, I'm playing my favorite character of all time with my other favorite characters of all time and my favorite people. I'm playing Miss Sabella Marie Ives of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore on the beautiful Lower East Side of Manhattan. Psychic. I said it. I did it. Yay me. We're already winning. Psychic, lover, fighter, big damn hero.
Yes, 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 and yes. And as we jump across to the man in the shades, the silver-tongued con man, I will ask my brother Strider, name, rank, and serial number. Who are you? Who will you be playing? And how do you feel, my friend?
Sunday. What a night for a finale. Yeah, you might notice Strider Heap has adorned his super sneaky, totally not crying glasses. It's one of those rather have them and not need them sort of things, rather than need them and not have them. I'm playing Elijah Sawyer for the last time. Crazy to say that. You know, maybe it's not about winning in a glorious fashion. Maybe it's just about the Nazis we punched along the way.
I like that. Cyclical. It's we started with punching Nazis. By God, let's end with punching a couple. As we drop down to someone who has never shied away from bare knuckle fisting, punching, well, yeah, either way. Steven, name, rank, and serial number, my friend. Who are you? Who will you be playing? And how do you feel?
I feel good, man. I played Dwight Burke. This is going to be for the last time. He is a sniper. He is a World War I veteran. He is, probably before last episode, he was probably emotionally unavailable to people. He has changed his outlook of things, and he wants to, for once, he probably wants to really survive, and he sees actually opportunity. So he wants to do a fisting on Dietrich and knock him out. So let's whatever with that,
Don't we all?
We'll find you a shower, Steven.
No.
So let's get ready to rumble. How's that?
Let's do it. And I can think of no better way than segueing with innuendo. But as we drop from our sniper to our leader, I will ask my friend Allison, name, rank, and serial number. Who are you? Who will you be playing? And how do you feel?
Greg, you said you hope we win. And all I can say is that I think we've already won. The players, at least. Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's Allison, and I play Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart, the leader of the Olympians. And the way that I feel is probably best summed up in the words of the Eagles from 1975. Put me on a highway, show me the signs, and take it to the limit one more time.
Alrighty. Let's go over to our last Olympian. My friend Lindy. Lindy, name, rank, and serial number. Who are you? Who will you be playing? And how do you feel?
Hi, I'm Lindy, and I will be playing Dr. Greta von Krauss, a German doctor and scientist, bioengineer. She's very, gosh, I don't know. She's determined to get this done and over with currently. I'm very nervous, but I can't wait to see how this all wraps up. So, maybe I'll get to shtick some people today.
Shtick 'em. Shtick 'em. Often and long. They need the shtuckin'. All right. Damn it. Okay, I gotta do this then. We're not going to do a recap, everyone. Here's the situation as it stands. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're joining us for the last time, welcome. The situation is simple. The 5 heroes you see here, plus a few of the loved ones they've met along the way, are in the sands outside of Jerusalem and along the Dead Sea. They're fighting a madman. A very, very powerful madman. They have a limited time to do it. They are woefully outnumbered. But they are Olympians. They are gods among humanity. And so, as we drop from the skies through the beginnings of a purple electrical storm to the sands just west of the Dead Sea, we see a tent city. We see 61 of the same man turning to face 3 of the Olympians inside this tent city, facing Sibella Ives, Dr. Greta von Krauss, and the soldier Dwight Burke. 61 versus 3. They have help, but they must lead this fight. 2 of their number are inside the main tent. Caitlin Jane O'Callahan and the con man Elijah Sawyer stare down and face Dietrich Prime, their enemy from the very beginning. Sometimes friend, all times madman. He is very close to sealing the deal, to sacrificing all of them himself to save this world and damn every variation of it to the Eldritch Gods, to the death of trillions upon trillions. And it is to these 5, these glorious 5, that the fate of all of those people rests. And so we are going to start outside the tents. I need everyone to roll initiative as the Dietrichs realize something is going on. Just
you mean
Dex
they're
check.
not happy to see us, Greg?
They are not.
Hi, I'm a doctor. Heard you had the plague recently.
Oh, get wrecked. Oh, get wrecked. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so as this breaks down, we are going to have Miss Sibella Marie Ives from Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, followed by Dr. Greta von Krauss, and the Dietrichs and then our sniper. So as we are sitting outside with those numbers rolled, I want to know what each of you are doing. We're going to start with Sabella. Sabella, you see them all scurrying from the tents, the flaps blowing open except for the main tent where you saw both Kate and presumably Elijah disappear into, but you see them coming and they are armed. They are all the same man. None of these variations that you saw before at Castle Dietrich with Bald Dietrich or Dr. Dietrich or Hunter Dietrich. These are Dietrichs that have adopted the same uniform look. They are mirrors, if you will, of what Dietrich Prime looked like in his youth when he himself was an Olympian. And they are charging. What do you do, Sabella?
I am just looking for one to make sweet, sweet eyes at, Greg.
As they're all coming out, you notice that several of them have eye protection on. I want you to roll a luck roll for me to see if you can find somebody that was careless.
Okay. Okay. Oh, hi.
The very first one you look at, you see fumbling for a pair of goggles that seem to bounce among his hands and drop into the Jerusalem sand. And as he goes to pick them up, he looks up and blue eyes meet yours. Roll a power check for me, please.
Okay, I'm gonna use an advantage. Whee! Fun.
That's 3 extremes in a row. And I'm not gonna say it, but you have him. As he looks, his eyes, the pupils dilate and expand. How and what do you need of him?
I'm looking for the strings, all the strings that connect them to Dietrich Prime. I know that last time I pulled one and they were in the same city, it hurt them a lot. And now they're all in the same yardage. So I'm gonna bite one in half, Greg.
I want you to roll another power check, and we are going to wait until next round to see what that does.
Okay, I'm gonna use another advantage. Hard 6. I'll use a point of luck to make it extreme.
Greta, everything's happening very fast. Explain how you just dispatched number 62 of the 61 remaining Dietrichs outside. And as soon as you dispatch this creature, Greta is faced with this charge. These ants rushing from the mound. This is it. How is Greta feeling, and how is the doctor reacting?
Well, she just did a neat being a doctor, she's got that surgical precision with a blade. This blade being a little bit larger than her regular scalpels, as it's a saber. So she's just cleaved through probably the jugular of the first Dietrich, and she's gonna kind of try to position herself in a bottleneck. She knows they're coming for her, and if she can take them on as few a time as possible, that would be preferable. So she's just gonna put herself in a nook to get ready to cleave them out.
Okay, so as you step between two narrow canvas and drawn cords of the tent, a fabric alley, if you will, the Dietrichs begin to move, and they come through two at a time, swarming you. But two of them come at you, and they get to you. What do you do as the wave hits?
Snappity. Stab him with the thing. That's all I really can do here. So, yeah. Move on my saber.
You slice, and as you slice down through one of them, 61 becomes 60 as you cleave one through the throat. And as it turns and falls, another one is upon you. Roll a constitution check for me, please.
Really? I'll spend the 1 point of luck. Oh, I don't like it.
As you spend the point of luck, you feel that you have not overcompensated your swing, and you have a chance to do one more attack as you are able to backhand your saber or do whatever you feel as you have another action in which to.
She'll backhand that attack. We know that the fewer of them there are, the less strong the main one becomes. So she's gonna. There it is.
The second one takes the shot, but this time it cuts deep into the muscle and bone of the shoulder. And this Dietrich, not holding a weapon, the group that has come for you have open hands and fists. They are coming to bear you down, to take you by force. It seems they are not looking to kill, but with your slice, they are coming regardless. And you see the fists rising towards you as we cut to the Dietrichs themselves.
Okay.
And so as the 200 Dietrichs, now 61 Dietrichs, make their...
60.
60 and a half.
60 and a half?
Yeah. As they make their attacks, rifle shots go out centered on Greta and Sabella, and they fail. As shots go everywhere, Sabella, you just feel, whether or not you are aware of it, they brush across your clothes, pierce the fabric beneath your arms. Greta, the punches come, but you move out of the way as they swing and strike sand instead of Olympian. Dwight, your friends are in dire trouble. They are being surrounded, swarmed, and overwhelmed. You see dozens of these Dietrichs charging the two of them. What do you do?
What's in front of me? Anything where I can like...
An ocean of Dietrichs.
All right, so he's just gonna pull the grease gun out, and he's just gonna lay waste to it. He's just gonna do the first line right into them.
To use the grease gun, you must get into them. The sniper rifle you can use at distance. The grease gun requires you to be significantly closer, but you can get there with your movement.
He's gonna get significantly closer, and he's going to unload the grease gun.
As soon as you run in, you are going to make yourself... You're going to pop up on their radar. Is that okay with Dwight?
Yes.
Okay. Dwight, as you run in, I want you to make a grease gun attack for me.
I'll take it.
Oh my God.
Full auto.
Wow. Okay. Katie, your wish is my command. The purple storm above begins to, just as the grease gun burps with life and death, as it erupts in a completely controlled pattern. Dwight, I'm going to ask you this. Who are you looking to help? They are separated. As the narrative stated last time, Sabella and Greta are not in the same vicinity. Are you trying to help one or the other?
I am going to help Sabella because I know she is attempting to do something to disrupt all of them. As much as I want to help Greta, Sabella is the one I would probably try to keep them off of because I know she's attempting to do I have a feeling she's attempting something. So he is going to try to keep them off of her as best he can.
Okay, then as you fire, roll your damage for your grease gun. As with an extreme, you get the total amount available to the clustered group, which is 6d6 as you fire, or 6d10 as you fire into the group and lay waste to them. Normally 3d10, I'm doubling it up because this is the finale. Fuck it.
I like it. So 6d10?
Yep. So as you open up, the three that are closest to Greta just disappear in a red mist as the grease gun belches in this perfectly controlled, perfectly refined. Your arm does not move. The soldier that is Dwight Burke is in his element. This is the sands. This is the battlefield. 3 drop. A third is wounded as he spins to the ground. And per the benevolence of Legion and Katie in chat, above where a purple storm has begun, a storm that in the past has signified trouble on the horizon, that has signified prophecy dire. You now know that the creature that lies at the heart of this purple storm is at the very least acquainted with you, and at the very best, an ally. I would like my 3 exterior Olympians, Sabella, Greta, and Dwight, to roll a 1d6 for me, please. I got you, bud. Let me. There you go. So with a roll of 9, plus the 3 that have just been obliterated, plus the 1 that has been cut, lucky 13 Dietrichs meet the sand. But the storm above, the storm controlled by the benevolence, perhaps, of a Pope and a Katie, fires down lightning, striking several of these bastards where they stand. Ash, burned flesh, and glass meet the sand, as suddenly things don't look quite so overwhelming outside. But let us cut inside, as we have in the interior. Wait, before we cut inside, let me do one other thing. I would like my exterior Olympians, based upon your roll of initiative. Sabella, you go first. I would like you to roll a luck roll for me, please.
Fail.
So as you roll your luck roll, and as it fails, the Country Roads Olympians launch their own attack, as the burning of Phil Castillo, of your daughters Syl and Marie, of Abigail Burke, commanded to stay away, commanded to leave this place, have engaged the Dietrichs as well. They have fought for this moment, and they will aid you. I would like you to roll a d8.
Three.
And so, after this round of combat, 16 Dietrichs drop to the sands, growing colder and not older. And as those 16 fall, none of them able to do a lick of damage to the Olympians outside, we go inside as Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, Elijah Sawyer, the man known as Jack Kilgrave, Dietrich Prime standing in ceremonial robes over an altar that has a slumbering ruby lying in state across it. And I will ask my other 2 Olympians, what will you do? Roll me initiative, too. Elijah,
Yeah.
you have the initiative. What do you do, my friend?
First off, initial observations, body language and stuff. Do we have guns pointed at us? Are these 2 getting ready to spring on us? What's going on?
Roll me a spot hidden.
Uh-oh. I have quite a few advantages. I'm going to use one. Good thing, too. Hard success.
The only person that appears to be moving in this tent, other than you and Kate, is Dietrich Prime, as Jack is standing completely straight, staring vacantly at Dietrich Prime, and as Ruby seems to be dead, unconscious. She's lying on the altar, though, as Dietrich continues to perform some type of intricate hand motion, gesturing, whispering, preparing. As you look around, Dietrich Prime, who beat you on his roll, turns towards the two of you, and with an absent toss of his left hand, fucking misses.
95.
And you all see purple lightning erupt from the hand of Joseph Dietrich, but instead of traveling the path of light, it veers for some reason. And as it veers, you see a look of concern dance across the older features of this Dietrich, as if for some reason he did not expect that to happen. Elijah, you are up.
Elijah's going to use his go-to. Bullets don't always work the best in the past, but we need somewhere to start. So I'm going to shoot a 32 round at Dietrich Prime. With a 1. Or not a 1, a 16 extreme, 1 damage. But an extreme success.
And with an extreme, it immediately bounces to a 2, which isn't super duper great, but as soon as you see the shot graze across his neck, you see it immediately glow purple and heals, as the damage that was done was undone by some force beyond. Everybody outside, roll me a perception check.
Regular success.
Fail. I'm too busy chicken.
Sabella, as you are standing there and you see Dwight and the lightning take down several of these Dietrichs, you see a flutter of almost like a purple wave connecting all of them. That's the ribbon that you're looking for as it bounces among each of them. And you see it glow brightly and go into the tent. And from that roll, you believe that whatever they are feeding whatever is in there. Kate. Elijah, if you want any move or anything else, you can take another shot if you'd like. You are within distance for 2 shots, but not fan the hammer range.
He'll take one more. He says, "Boy, you've been brushing me off since we met. I ain't having it no more." Hard success.
These rolls are unreal, man. Okay, I love it. So with a
Our
9...
is with us tonight.
With a 9 as it goes through, in front of you, as you are noticing all of this, Sabella, you see another ripple go through, and one of the Dietrich's eyes burn from his head in a purple flash, and he drops to the ground as another Dietrich is used by Prime to keep himself afloat. This one hit him right in the forehead, Elijah, as you said that. And he took the shot, and when he looked back down, the purple energy seemed to carry it away. We are now to Caitlin Jane O'Callahan. What would you like to do?
I cast a quick look back over my shoulder. Can I see out through the tent flap at all?
Roll me a spot hidden.
Regular success.
You sure can. It's a purple swirl.
God damn it. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. I love that look. I am going to activate the jetpack. I'm going to use my pilot skill to steer directly into Dietrich Prime and grapple him as I go and try to knock him down, carry him away.
Let's roll that pilot roll, and then I will need a strength roll when you get there.
Okay, here's the pilot roll. Hard success. And I'm going to advantage the strength. Hard success on the strength roll.
So with a launch from the jetpack, Dietrich raises his hands, and as you are rocketing towards him with a gout of green energy coming out from the jetpack, you pass through the glyph as he finishes it over the slumbering form of Ruby. And just as you hit him, you blow him back, but the glyph remains. And Elijah, I'm not going to make you roll for this. You see this blue glyph, much like a metronome, guillotine, begins to move back and forth, getting lower and lower towards Ruby. But you have him. You are staring in the face of the man that you cooked soup with, Kate, the man from Castle Dietrich, as he looks up. And as you take him, it doesn't knock the wind out of a man that it should knock the wind out of. I'm so glad you're here, Kate. We can finally end this.
Oh, we're going to end it all right, Colonel Dietrich. Do I have any action left here?
That's it, but that exchange was well enough as the two of you are clenched and you have him, for all intents and purposes, grappled as the leader of the Dietrichs and the leader of the Olympians are dancing.
Are we still in the tent then?
You hit the back wall and stayed there.
Okay.
Let's cut back out to the outside as round 2 begins. Sabella, your power check from before. I want you to roll a... Let's see. Let me get my count right here. I want you to roll...
Your count at 43.
I need one other thing on top of that. I need a D86 for me, please. Anything below a 43 is good. As you lock eyes with the poor fucker that didn't pick up his goggles in time, you bounce from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through 43 Dietrichs until you bounce to Prime. I want you to roll a D8 for me, please.
Five.
With 5, you feel yourself forced back into the sand, but not before you burn, Sabella. Not before you scorch. Kate, as you are locked with him in this embrace, and he says, I'm so glad that you're here, you see a flash go through his eyes, not of purple, but one speaking of a flame of candlelight upon which you read a book by. And you see him... as energy comes out of his ears for a moment, and you know Sabella is at play. Sabella, is there anything else you would like to do? You have movement.
Yeah. Am I still connected, or is the connection severed and I need to find another.
You're connected, but you were bounced all the way back. It's like a pinball machine. You've been sent all the way back to the bumper. You made it all the way to the top, and then all the way back to the bumper.
Okay. I'm going to... I'm still connected, and I don't want to sever it. So I'm going to just try and, I guess, counter to where because I heard the rifle shots. So I'm going to try to counter, maybe using the tent as partial cover. And I'm going to just try and stay connected and like try to send another one as soon as I can.
Okay, I will tell you this. To stay connected means you have to stay locked with the eyes of this Dietrich. If you do so, if you remain locked with the eyes of this Dietrich, you are in the middle of the battlefield.
Yeah.
You are going to have to rely on Dwight and Greta to keep you safe, as you cannot dodge. You are a motionless target in the middle of the battlefield.
I trust you, Dwight and Greta. I'll stay connected.
So narratively, to set this up, as the pinball of Sabella's energy goes through the entire Dietrich line, striking inside the tent and into Dietrich Prime, it returns the energy back to Sabella Marie Ives, who has to stand awash an army of Dietrichs. Her only defenders, Dr. Greta von Krause and Dwight Burke. Greta, you are being overwhelmed. What do you do?
There wouldn't happen to be anything explosive nearby, would there?
Roll me a spot hidden.
Sure, let's see. Nope.
There's a wood burning stove.
Perfect. It'll be a slow burn. I think she's just gonna keep sticking. I think she's just gonna keep with the bottleneck she's got going on to try to only face a certain number of them at a time.
Okay. Have you stuck yourself with anything?
Not yet, no.
Okay. I didn't think so. I was just double checking to make sure that we had that locked in. So go ahead and attack the next one that you see coming in. This is one that's already injured, by the way.
All right. Well, he took 5.
He drops as 43 becomes 42. And roll a constitution check for me as you are battling for your life, Greta.
Okay. I'm going to use an advantage on this. Just to... Hard success.
Okay, so Greta, as one comes in, wraps his arms around you and tries to drag you to the ground, you're able to shoulder out of the grapple and drop him to the ground. You may make another attack as more of them just continue to pour at you.
Take 12.
With the one that drops to the ground, you're able to flip the sword and drive it home all the way through the stomach of this Dietrich into the sand. As you pull it back up, roll me another constitution check. If you get a hard or better, we'll see what happens.
All right, I'm going to use another advantage on this. Let's see. See if we can keep the train up. Well, how about an extreme?
Roll an attack and double the damage as you turn and face the next one in line as it comes in.
6.
So with 6, as you turn and slice this one that was thinking there's no way she can recover in time, you take a cut across his upper pecs as you cut deep and see it's a very surgical strike as you see the white of the sternum exposed as he leans back, grasping at this incredibly bloody wound on his chest. As the rest of them don't slow, but they do notice what has happened. Roll me one more constitution. If you make an extreme, you may continue.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's use another advantage. Let's see if we can keep the pain train going. We got a lot to clear out. Not this time.
So as you turn to face them, it's not that they overwhelm you or get a jump on you at this point. It's just that you cannot continue the attack as they step back and are able to mobilize themselves. But at this point, Greta, as you are standing in this alleyway, the bottleneck has succeeded thus far, but now they are beginning to pool around you as you have a Dietrich to the right, to the left, two in front, one coming in. You are getting surrounded. And now it is the Dietrich's turns as the less than 200 fire. And so with 11 damage split among the Olympians, because that is a terrible damage roll for so many of these guys, we are going to have Dwight take 4, Sabella take 4, and Greta take 3, as they were able to hold off the area enough. But all of you take that damage as we get to Dwight. Dwight, what would you like to do, my friend, as the Dietrichs seem to be getting at least an idea of what they want to do?
I'm assuming that we're using the like other characters as peripheral, and I couldn't scream to Phil to create a wall of fire for him to protect Sabella with.
Just to make everything a little bit easier on the players and your benevolent keeper, they are acting in a way that they have fought for the past several years. So they are not adhering to commands, they are simply helping thin the herd.
Okay.
According to however you guys roll is how they mechanically respond. They are aware of your locations, but they will not come rushing to any one particular character's aid.
Got it. Okay, so he reloads, and he's gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna take an advantage this time to attempt to get another extreme on them. I want to put some fear into them. Yeah, not even close, but I do hit.
Okay, so with this blast, the one that you had injured with the last shot that you had given expires. As with this round, as it has gone through, you all are at, I think, is it 40 even now? 40 even? Okay. Yep. And so as 40 of the Dietrichs remain, and as you fire into, they seem to be very aware of your grease gun, Mr. Burke, and they begin to move and scatter, making sure that if you do hit one, you do not hit many. But they seem to have an eye for Miss Ives. Let us go back inside the tent. Elijah, you see all of this transpiring, but first, as Kate, you are on top of the being known as Joseph Dietrich. You feel his hand extend into your stomach as he attempts. And with 10 damage, you feel lightning rip through your stomach, blasting across the fabric of your shirt and jacket as he arcs and lifts you off of him. The thrust of the jetpack still firing out of your back as he fires the lightning and removes you from him as he stands up. Your hair goes off to the sides, and in your ear, you hear somebody that you knew as the Pope of Malibu whisper, "I'm sorry." Elijah, you see this happen.
Is Kate still within close distance to Dietrich, though?
Within,
like not pressing on him, but...
Yeah, about 3 feet, as she is being lifted off by an arc of energy.
Well, Kate seems busy right now. Elijah's going to hustle towards Ruby and Jack to see what's going on over there. As he hustles close, he will absent-mindedly fan the hammer to pump 3 bullets into Jack, for old time's sake.
Okay, roll 3 shots with advantage as Jack is motionless. He is not moving at all.
There's some math for you.
Got a
yeah.
hard, irregular, irregular.
Right, so you blister shots into him. He does not fall, but you see shots in his chest and one in his throat bleeding as he is simply standing there looking forward. His eyes do not blink, but you have riddled him with what would be terminal shots on anyone you've faced. Well, most people you faced. Where do you want to end your movement?
He's going right up to Ruby. He's going to be right over that, trying to figure out what he can figure out and see if there's anything he can do.
Okay. When you get up there, I would like you to roll for me. I guess we're going to have to go with an occult check.
Oh, no. Elijah's not super well knowledgeable in that topic.
Okay. So as you look, you see this glyph as it swings, but it doesn't take knowledge of the arcane or the occult to realize that this glyph is, for all intents and purposes, two-dimensional as it spins across over the form of Ruby Young Norwood, and it's getting lower. If you have nothing left, Kate.
As I come back to my feet and gain my balance, I'm have kind of gotten spun around and I'm facing away, and I just bend down and activate the jetpack again and fly to the other side of the tent, ensuring that the vector of the thrust, that green flame behind me, is aimed right at his smarmy fucking face.
Okay, I will let you know this, that the green thrust in and of itself is not warm. It does not cause burns. Thus, that's why it was used as propulsion, so it wouldn't burn the legs of the person that was wearing the pack. But you can do so to confuse. It'd be the D&D equivalent of a stun, but not damage.
Yeah, I'm figuring it's got to be about 2,000 pounds worth of thrust in his face.
Let's give it a shot. Roll me a pilot check, and let's do a mechanical repair just because it seems the most mechanically thing that we can do here. And I know you have advantage on it.
A success on both.
Okay, give me a straight D100. Anything 50 to 100, Anything 0 to 50,
35.
Dietrich fires you off with the lightning, and you see him forced back into the corner of the tent where ground meets the canvas, as he seems held there in place as your thrust propels you back towards back past Ruby, past the bleeding Jack, past Elijah Sawyer, who is standing at the altar, as you basically can return to any point that you would like on the opposite side of the tent. Do you have anything else?
I'll return close to the entrance and turn back around, and I've got that Mauser drawn, ready to shoot on the next round.
Yep, in the Zoom chat.
I was muted. Wanted to make sure that the everything was being kept as far as advantages that have come in. Everyone has them in the Zoom chat. Fantastic. Let's get back to the fighting as we start round 3. At the top of round 3, Sabella, The battle is engaged outside as you see these Dietrichs everywhere. Off to your left, there is a swarm, almost a scrum. You can only assume that is where Greta is. But before you all start, I forgot to ask Greta to roll me a luck check. With a success, I'd like you to roll me a D20.
A 5.
And again, the Country Roads Olympians, with Abigail Burke leading the charge with her revolvers. 1, 2 shots fire, 2 Dietrichs drop. Flames come from Sabella's twins as they burn Dietrichs away. And in the middle of the area, Phil runs through and begins to light the tent city aflame. Sabella.
Hi. I'm presently engaged. I would like to continue that.
I would like you to roll me a D70.
Oh, okay. Okay. 57.
Okay. So as your mind bounces from Dietrich to Dietrich, you get almost to the promised land as one of the Dietrichs mounts a mental defense. I still would like you to roll your damage, but it does not get to Dietrich Prime.
Okay, is that a D8?
Please, yes. Oh,
7.
Fantastic. So, almost towards the tent, one of the Dietrichs at the rear of the line drops to the sand screaming as blood pours from his ears and his eyes as he is suffering the full brunt of Sabella Marie Ives' psychic blast. Do you have anything else? You must remain engaged if you wish to stand here. They are coming, Sabella.
I think we need to go inside. I am going to make a break for the tent. And I'm going to yell out to Dwight and Greta to do the same.
Okay. Dwight, Greta, roll listen checks. And as you head off and break the power check, Lindy, Greta hears. And I'll let you know if Dwight hears whenever everybody hears as Greta is making her run. Greta, as your movement is coming in now and you're literally dodging the outstretched hands of Dietrichs as you are running.
Cut him off as I run.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sabella's making a movement here. I need a dex check from Sabella to see how far she can get into this group.
Okay. I'll use an advantage. So far, hard success.
Okay, you get about a third of the way there, and no one's been able to get purchase on you yet. That is cut over to Greta. Greta, you are surrounded. What would you like to do as you hear go for the tent?
I heard go for the tent, so I should probably cover Sabella, but in order to do that, I apparently gotta cut a doorway through these Dietrichs, because they're in that way, so...
You just need, like, a window.
I'm gonna make an opening through, the path of least Dietrich resistance.
They're all just windows.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna stab and walk and head towards Sabella.
Make an
towards
attack.
The tent.
3 successful attacks get you free.
Alright, that's 1.
1?
Yeah.
We have another Dietrich drops.
Nice, okay, 34. Alright.
Make me a con roll.
Success.
Make another attack. Another Dietrich drops.
Okay.
Make me a con roll. Has to be hard or higher.
I'll use an advantage. Let's see. Hard.
Roll me damage.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
I didn't know Greta was a samurai when we started.
So with 3 Dwight, since you go next in the line after the Dietrichs, you see an explosion of, it's not nice, it's not pretty, and it shouldn't be described, but I'll do it anyway. It's blood, guts, the things that make up the Dietrichs. And as this propulsion of airborne offal begins to lower to the sand, among it, very much like taking on the Crazy 88, is none other than Dr. Greta von Kraus, who is tip to fucking tail covered in the blood of Dietrichs as she's standing there. And you are free, Greta, to make a run towards the group. And we currently have 32.
32.
Blitzkrieg. Greta's a fucking panzer.
Roll me a dex check to see how far you can get in this.
Sure. Oh, man.
So as soon as she does
All the stabbing.
yeah, the level of violence that is being displayed by Greta takes either the appreciation, the notice, or the fear of the Dietrichs as they begin to this group, the remaining 30 begin to encircle Greta. She must be brought down. She is cleaving the fuck through everyone, and it is then their turn.
Come on, boys. All I got's a sword.
Can I dodge?
With a 11 more, you can, but you cannot act then if you do so.
All right, I'll take the damage.
So with this one, it is 4 for Greta, 4 for Sabella, 3 for Dwight, as they have shifted focus a bit. And we are back to Dwight.
Can I, is there anything I can like blow up myself? I know that Greta asked the same question. Can I, anything I can explode and then retreat?
At this point, I'm not even going to make you make a roll. Anything that could blow up will neither help you, but could potentially hurt Greta and Sabella, who are among the Dietrichs now.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. So can I cover Greta and then run for the tent?
Yeah, if you want to, give Greta a chance to free herself.
Yes. I mean, Dwight's like, what the fuck is he sees her like bloodied? He's, holy shit, what is going on there? So he is going to, yes, he sees it. So he's going to unload the grease gun into the crowd that's trying to get away from her. Like she's trying to back up. I'm sure they're like clumping together now. So he's going to take an advantage. I'm going to use an advantage if I have to. Yeah, I'll take the hard one.
Okay, so
how much to make it extreme?
11, 15 luck.
I'm going to save that 15. I'm going to save that luck because I'm going to use it all, but I'm going to save it for now. I'll keep it the hard.
All right, so as you fire, we're going to say, because I have one that's partially wounded, just to make it easier on me, you all are down to a nice odd lot of 31 Dietrichs as another Dietrich drops to the grease gun as it and Greta, you see one of the ones that's gone to surround you just gets obliterated and drops to the ground, the one that had the slash across his chest that you had delivered before. And with that, we go back inside as Dietrich Prime pulls himself up, and that would be his entire action. However, he is going to spend 10 luck and use his first legendary action as he turns towards Kate and fires for 10 lightning damage as he focuses solely on the leader of the Olympians, blasting again with this lightning across the entirety of the tent. Elijah, you see this lightning go right by your face. Elijah, you are up.
On a scale of like 0 to 22-ish, how's Kate feeling? Okay. How easy would it be to grab Ruby Foster and actually just physically move her from this altar? Uh-oh. This seems important. Gonna use an advantage. Listen's still pretty bad. What? Alright, I succeeded.
You hear a voice in your head, Elijah, and it simply says, "There must always be a dreamer." What would you like to do?
Ah, that's tricky. In his mind, I don't know if he can reply to this voice or it's just something, a spark in there. He thinks to himself, well, it's sure as hell not going to be her. He's still going to try to move her however he can. Hands grabbing her, pulling, pushing the altar, anything he can do.
We'll say that you use the entirety of your action and movement to learn the following with your listen check. You try to push, you try to pull, but she doesn't budge. But when you push her and you slide onto the altar, she begins to move free.
All right.
So you are in the process, we're not going to say it's completed, you are in the process of sliding yourself onto the altar and freeing Ruby Young Norwood, as she doesn't seem to be reacting at all.
All right.
Kate.
I crawl up behind the altar, using it as cover between Dietrich and me. And as I'm sitting there, kind of with my back and my shoulder up against it, I've got the Mauser in my right hand, but I reach up with my left hand through that uniform jacket to that amulet that's still hanging around my neck, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when I touch it this time?
Nothing.
All right, I am going to stay behind cover. Hold my action and be prepared to dodge on the next, if Dietrich gets another attack on me.
Okay. So you have a dodge action held.
I would get to dodge anyway, right? If he attacks, because he's already had his attack this round. The next round, if he attacks, I'll get to make a choice to dodge or not, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so then I won't. I will, however, on my action. How much fuel do I think is left in the jetpack?
No clue. You knew that there was not a full brick left in it. You flew into the camp. Probably enough to do whatever you would need to do other than fly like 10 miles. So you've got a good... You're not real... half, maybe?
Man, there's a lot of potential energy in that brick. Can I do a quick... I love how everybody else is trying to blow something up, and I'm about to say, can I do a quick science?
Sure.
I wanna use my physics to see if I can get a guess at how big an explosion I could make if I blew the whole rest of the brick up. And whether or not that would have any effect on Dietrich or on this place based on what I've seen already happening in here.
Well, I'll definitely give you the first part of that, but its effect on Dietrich remains a mystery, as he's not going to stand still for you to observe his, intake of violence. But I will definitely allow you to look at the brick and just kind of give it an eyeball as to what you think its potential kinetic energy could be.
Yeah, okay, so I'll advantage my science roll here. Hard success.
If this tent were susceptible to the laws of physics, you believe that this entire area would be compromised by an explosion with this brick.
Okay. All right, I'm done. I'm just gonna sit there and bleed.
That's a free action. I will allow it. As we go back outside, you are facing 31 Dietrichs still. You all have moved to this point. The Olympians are helping you. At this point, I will ask Dwight to make a luck check.
Can I advantage it? I mean, this is going to be a complete failure. I can't.
You cannot advantage these luck checks.
Oh, you sure? I mean, I was real close.
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive. You can roll a D8 for me, though, please. Or I can do it for you. Totally up to you. Just go ahead. A 4. Sir. There we go. Right in the middle. So you all are now, with the aid of the Country Roads Olympians, you are down to 27. As 27 Dietrichs still face you. Sabella, you are running. You can continue your run, or you can try to engage. They are all kind of congregated here in the area in front of the tent, spread over to try to take out Greta, engaging Dwight, but you all are converging on an area, and they're in between you and where you want to go.
Yeah, I think I have to go in the tent. So I'm going to keep moving.
Roll me a dex check, please.
Okay. Oh, yes.
And with an extreme, I will not make you roll a con check to try an additional run. As you run, you get to the flap, open the flap, and you're able to squeeze and kind of pull your way out of the Dietrichs as they grab at you as you run by. You go through the area, you open up the tent flap, and we will see what happens at the beginning of the next round. At the beginning of the 4th round, or we'd see, we're on the third round. At the beginning of the 4th round, we'll see where that goes. Okay. Greta, you are surrounded. You have these 27 Dietrichs. It's up to you.
Want it, gosh.
They do. You can either give it, or you can run and take a similar trajectory that Sabella was doing and try to run and kind of avoid as you run to.
I have a question about my D10s of healing that I have from wounds. How do I use those? Is those actions? Are they?
Those is. So
those is? Okay.
Those is. So if you would like to use one of the actions that came from boons from the season, that D10 would be your action for the round. You still have movement. Okay. So you could conceivably kind of resolve yourself with the healing and then still make your run. Totally up to you.
Sabella went inside and Dwight's coming in as well. Dwight's not too far behind me.
Dwight's trailing, but yeah, he's behind the two of you.
All right, then I think I will do that. Just to be like, I just can't get enough of me, and just kind of bolster herself up and just try to charge through. so I will spend a D10 healing.
I will let you know you can advantage the healing before you roll it, if you would like.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
You did jinx it, didn't you? It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, you can advantage it. No, it's good. And then dex check to get past.
Yes, please.
Okay. Success.
Okay, with a success, you get about a half, 2/3 of the way. Make
That's
a
fine.
con check for me. If you get a hard or better, you can continue your linebacker, running back-esque run.
Nah.
Okay, so you get to a point where you have to stop, and as you stop, the Dietrichs kind of rearrange themselves and get ready as they attack the remaining everyone that's still outside. But they are just outside of where it would come back down again. Man, 11 again. So this time what we're going to do is it's going to be 3 on Sabella, 4 on Greta, 4 on Dwight, as again the rifles and hands and knives just lance out at everybody as you all are hit in whatever position you are in the exterior, as the remaining 27 get some hits in. Dwight.
So I could go straight for the tent if I make
Dwight,
a dex.
I'm gonna make you a devil's bargain.
Okay, lay it on me. I like devil's bargains.
Okay, I know you do. Dwight, if you stop moving, and if you succeed on either a charm, fast talk, or persuasion, I will still allow you to attack this round, but if you succeed on any of those, you may very well draw off Dietrichs from Greta and Sabella. You're going to be focusing them all on you.
That's a terrible bargain. Why would I do that?
I don't know. I made the terrible assumption you were a hero.
I am a hero, but if you gave me something that I could actually succeed at, I'd consider it. Intimidate.
I'll take intimidate.
I think it's a dumb idea because I got the bullet.
I'm not saying that I'm smart. I'm just saying that was the suggestion I made.
I mean, I would do that if I did not think I was necessary to this occasion coming up. So I'm not going to do that. So I'll go for the Kent. Yeah, I mean, as much as I would like, I would do that if I thought that it was a worthy cause. And
I will let you know this, that right now an advantage has come in from none other than Dawn, and it simply says, Dwight, do it.
I don't go to the peer pressure, but I do take the advantage. Thank you. I am tempted to do it. However, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm going for the tent, and I'm gonna shoot this son of a bitch with that fucking bullet. So
let me know what you're gonna do. Are you gonna you're gonna just make a run for it? Or are you going to...
Where is Greta at? I don't understand. So I'm back. Greta's above me. Sabella's in the tent now.
I'm like at the tent because I got shot, Greg.
Yeah, think about this. If there's a straight line, which it's not, but let's just say it is, from the tent opening to you, it goes Sabella at the tent opening, Greta halfway between you and the tent opening, and then you. So... And then Dietrichs.
All in there.
All up in that shit.
All 27 of them, huh? Nah.
That's right, Roller. Go on! Put it in your hand. Do it!
Put it in Dietrich Prime. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the tent, definitely. I mean, as much as I'm tempted to do it, I'm not going to be persuaded. So I am going to go for the tent, and I will use it. You dex check, or do I anything I need to do?
No, just make sure that Summer has gifted everyone with advantages as well. What I need, if you are just straight running, you can begin the dex cycle that you would like, so make a dex check. If you elect to attack, you can only move your regular movement. But if you can
elect to intimidate people, I can I can take them all, huh?
Oh, I don't care what you do, but go ahead. If you want to move, then I just need you to dex check,
I'm going for the 10 because that's just what I'm going to do, and I'll use an advantage.
Okay.
Well, thank God, I'll take the success.
Okay, so you get about as far as Greta is before this kind of bottleneck feeds in and hits. I'll let you make a con check, but this one's going to have to be this one's going to have to be an extreme because with the hard, you kind of bypass this as you kind of hit the main meat of.
So I need an extreme.
Yep, with your con check or dex.
I'll dex check. Is it con or dex?
Let's do a dex here because you're hitting into the crowd.
All right, I'll use another advantage.
Feast to famine, or famine to feast.
I'll take that one.
As you leap over some of the Dietrichs, Greta, you see Dwight spring over a couple as he lands and makes it almost to the opening of the tent. As we go back inside, Dietrich Prime is standing there as he looks around, and for a moment you see as he shakes his head, stands up and attacks Elijah. For 15 electrical damage.
Ouch.
As the energy lances out, how is Elijah doing?
22 minus 15. That brings us to what, like math?
7.
All right.
So as it lances out, he tries to push you off of the altar, almost in an effort to sweep you from that area of sacrifice. I'd like you to make a strength check as you hold on, if you wish. If not, you can just fly off.
I'll try to make the check. I'll use advantage. Ah, son of a bitch.
You start sliding off as you feel this electricity have not just a piercing quality to it, but an actual, it can shove you as it's moving you with a force off of this pedestal. You take the hits, but it is now your turn.
All right, he's dead set on doing this. Would it be possible for him to get back over there and just try to dive towards the altar?
Yeah, absolutely. If that is all that you're doing, if you're just trying now to shove Ruby off of the altar, I will give you a whatever check you think, dex or strength, at advantage, because you know what you're doing now.
All right. He gets blown back. He lands on the ground. He's going to crawl up next to Kate, who's still admittedly in probably worse shape than he is. Really quickly, he's going to spit out, "Captain, shut up and listen. I don't know what's going to happen, but if you see Evie before I do, tell her Ruth lives in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and needs someone to keep an eye on her. Thanks." And he's going to hop up and just try to, I'm going to do the dexterity check. See. Got a success at a 46.
Okay, if you spend 1 luck and make that a hard, I will allow you to take places with Ruby.
Hell yeah. Luck is spent.
So as soon as you use this, you push Ruby clear. She tumbles lifelessly off of the altar, smacks to the ground, and you feel yourself, Elijah, held to the stone as this glyph turns just a fraction above your chest, and you are now incapable of moving. Kate, what would you like to do?
Nobody else has made it into the tent yet?
I'm coming.
I'm going to... Can I pop up from behind cover and take a few shots without putting myself at risk of I can still dodge next time. He's already attacked. I gotta remember this.
Yeah, no, just remember, you will be exposing yourself, but you will always have the chance to dodge. You're just sacrificing the next action that you would have.
Right. I will do that. As I hear Elijah's words and I see what he's about to do, the thought occurs to me to cover him as he's doing it, so I pop up just far enough to take as many shots as I can against Herr Colonel.
I will allow you to fan the hammer because he's close.
Yeah. Is that 3?
It is 3. Hit. So that's a total of 17. And as he gets hit, you see him stand and take the first shot, and then the second and the third hit him, and you see blood creep down as the batteries he's been using have been depleted to the point where they're not providing the same protection that he had. He is going to take 11. What do we have there? Did you have 17? He's going to take 12 points of damage as you blast into him.
Looks like you bleed just like the rest of us, Colonel. What a surprise.
You're a fool, O'Callahan. This is the only way to save the world. And at this proximity, you know he is hopelessly insane.
Surprise.
Kate, we have had a donation by Jem. I'm going to do this. I will allow you to take advantages, but I will also allow you to take 2 healings if you would like, as that was a substantial donation. So I will give you 2 1d10 healings as boons for this donation.
Jem, thank you so much. I'll take the healing.
I will let you take it your next turn, as it takes a whole action to use one of those wonderful gifts.
Okay, so in the meantime, I want you to just be thinking about how you're going to narrate that and how it magically happens, probably because somebody loves me somewhere. I want to just really come up with something good, because it's the finale, Greg.
Okay. All right. So, Kate, as that transpires, we are going to go back to Sabella. Sabella, you are at the opening. I would like you, before you go inside, to roll me a luck check, because the Country Roads Olympians are pressing their attack.
Success.
I would like you then to roll me a d20.
Baby!
With shot and fire and flame, the children of Sabella Marie Ives and Dwight Burke and Phil Castillo get between our Olympians and the Dietrichs, and you hear Phil yell just as you jump into the tent, "Go! We can hold them!" You are all free to make it into the tents as the other Olympians have taken the brunt. Sabella, you make it inside.
Wonderful. What do I see, Greg?
You see what's been narrated. You see a bleeding Jack Kilgrave from multiple gunshot wounds. You see Kate down behind, had standing up and firing, getting ready to duck back behind the altar. And you see Elijah on the altar with a glyph, almost like a pendulum or a guillotine, back and forth.
Can I make an occult check on that, just from seeing it?
Yeah, it'll be a hard from the distance because it's tough to see the spinning.
Yeah, that's not my main focus, but I'll try. Hard success! That's fun! How terrible is it, Greg? Tell me.
It's a sacrificial glyph. As soon as it touches Elijah, he's going to die.
Cool, 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 cool. Great. I'm going to assume it's coming from Dietrich Prime, who is in this room somewhere.
Yeah, you see Dietrich Prime standing behind the altar, just bristling with purple energy. He is bleeding, though.
Oh, that's fun. So we've got Kate on one side, we've got Elijah on it. I'm going to move toward Kate. I assume he's looking that way anyway, since she's got a gun on him. And I'm going to do whatever needs to be done to destroy him. Yeah. Yeah.
You can, Sabella, the only thing that you can think of from this distance and this range, as you suffer a bit of disorientation as you come into the tent, is if you have a chance to engage him in eye-to-eye contact, you can't get to him in time. Not in time to save Elijah. It would be an opposed power check, though. I will let you know that he gets these at advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't see Ruby. I wouldn't get to him in time to save Elijah.
You had an occult roll that told you as soon as that touches Elijah, he'll die.
Yeah.
It is seconds away from touching him. You might get there in time to hold his hand. Dawn just gave you an advantage to kill that son of a bitch.
Oh.
Summer said yes to kill that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm going after him. That's all I can do. I look at Elijah and I do send him my love, but I'm moving to engage Dietrich Prime.
Roll me a power check.
Okay, I guess I'll use an advantage, Greg. Ew. Ew. That's gross.
Awful rolls, too.
Hard success. I'll use 2 points of luck to make it extreme.
How do you get 200?
So as Dietrich Prime holds his chest, looks up and sees Sabella Ives, he looks, maybe it's bravado, maybe it's just being brazen, but he locks eyes with you to take you out and immediately regrets it. Roll me a d20 as you reverse the polarity on Dietrich Prime. If he is bested by a power roll that he has advantage on, there is a backlash.
11.
Let's cut back outside. Greta, the way is clear.
Cool. Well, then, yeah, I'm gonna go run into the tent because that's where everyone else is running, and there's a whole lot less of them in between me and the tent now. So we're just gonna run inside.
There's none. And in a continuation of an earlier donation by Katie, as you run in, purple lightning bolts lance from the sky as the Country Roads Olympians and the heavens themselves seek to eradicate the Dietrichs. As they are going, though, you feel a pull, a rush of wind, as if whatever they have left is gifted in the last moments of their lives. And as it rushes past you, you feel it as you pull open the tent and rush inside. We have more from you, but we're going to go to Dwight. Dwight, you're the last remaining non-Country Roads Olympian outside. What do you do?
Dwight is going to rush into the tent. And he sees Dietrich. Is he on the ropes?
You have a beat left as you walk in.
He opens the Grand up and he shoots the bullet at him.
As that happens, As Sabella Ives matches gazes with Dietrich and the feedback occurs, the glyph is still dropping. And so I will ask Dr. Greta von Krause, you walk into this space and you see nothing, I'm presuming, but Elijah Sawyer lying on this altar. And I'm not going to make you roll because your friends have rolled better than anyone should in a D100 system. So I will give you this as the Chad and the Legion is with you, and they are giving donations to this group and this collective narrative. So this is coming from all of these fantastic people in chat. Greta, you know that when this glyph touches Elijah, he is going to die. You know that you can get there in time, but only if you go with him.
Like, glyph out together? Just for clarity's sake, Greg.
You are going to be... This is basically like... I'm going to try to push you out of the way of the train.
Okay.
But I know that we're both going to get hit by the train.
Yeah, I think she tried to do it.
We just had a donation come in. And let me double check real quick here. I am shaking like a leaf. And this is a whoever or however boons can be used to save Elijah. So I'm going to simply say this. I'm not going to make you roll because of the boon that has just come in. But you're going to save Elijah. You can go with him. But that's up to you, Lindy.
I don't know. This is the worst, Greg. I think she'd save him.
That means sacrificing herself and going with him. You can either not, or you can go.
Yeah, she'd sacrifice and get him out of there. She could.
So, as Sabella Ives feels the feedback burn through the brain of Dietrich Prime, who's still alive, as Caitlin Jane O'Callahan prepares to duck but sees that reinforcements have arrived, as Dwight Burke levels the shot, Dr. Greta von Krause runs, seeing none of that. She simply sees Elijah Sawyer. And with the last Herculean effort of an Olympian, she slides upon the table and joins him as the glyphs hit. Dwight, take your shot.
I'm going to take advantage, and I'm going to use all my luck.
Sabella, wait, you had something, Lauren?
No.
As I see Dwight stepping up to take the shot, I just yell out, "This is the Olympians' world, Colonel Dietrich. You just get to die in it."
And with 2 higher rolls than would be expected, perhaps there's a tremor, thinking of his little girl. But the shot fires, for with the remaining Dietrichs outside that were burned away, and with the damage that was done by Sabella Ives, he only had 8 hit points left. And as the bullet tears through the skull of Dietrich Prime, as the hopelessly mad former Olympian breathes his last, he sees everything that could have been. Love's lost. Power squandered. But it is the words of Caitlin Jane O'Callahan that strangely enough bring him peace. Jack Kilgrave drops to the ground, but there is also a flash. Elijah Sawyer and Dr. Greta von Krause are burned to ash.
No. 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 I'm going to, not really looking at Dietrich Prime. I look at Kate and Dwight, and then back at the altar. And I'm going to go up to it. Do I think I have any shot at bringing them back with the resurrection ritual? If what remains of them is still there, even if it's ash, it's all still there.
It's not them. They're gone.
Oh my God.
Doc?
Oh. No. No, this can't be right. This can't be right.
Thought I could fix it this time. I think I only made it worse. As Ruby stands up from where she had fallen.
Try to save him.
I have dozens of times. They are guarding us all now. They are the dreamers. I don't know what happens next.
Ruby, what do you mean? Dozens of times. Girl, what are you talking about?
I've tried, Kate.
Tried what?
To save them, to save my parents. Dozens of times. Lifetimes. I've lost everyone over and over again. I've tried. Nothing I do changes it. It's always Elijah and Greta. Always. I'll try again. And again. And again.
Ruby.
What happens after?
I don't know. I always go back and try. And she reaches for her pocket.
Ruby, no. Stop.
Stop.
Honey, stop.
They saved me in the cave. Do you remember when you found me?
I know, hon.
And then they're the ones. I will not accept it. And Kate, you can tell by her eyes that Ruby is hopelessly insane. I'm gonna go back and fix it. I'll fix it all. Mama, Daddy, they'll make it.
Katie, we have to stop her. She's gonna get herself killed and maybe them again and more.
I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying.
You're right, Sabella. It has to end, Ruby.
You can't keep doing this. I'm moving toward her, Greg.
She's reaching for her pocket. I will
I
need you to
know.
make a dex check for me.
Okay, I'll use an advantage. Regular success.
You're able to grab her as she reaches a hand in and pulls out a pocket watch.
Can I assist?
You gotta let me go, Sabella. I might be able to do it this time. Maybe if I help you all before you go to Germany, maybe if I get there quicker.
Dwight's gonna attempt to stop her too. Oh, he's gonna fail.
Ruby, you need to stop.
I can't.
Sweetie, you've done everything that you can. Elijah, he did what he did to help you. He wanted you to make it, and Greta wanted to go with him. That's what they wanted. You don't have the right.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. I'll try advantage again. Persuasion is not my strong suit. And I'll use a point of luck to make it extreme.
She looks at you and I don't know what happens next. I've never gone past this point. I don't know what happens next. I don't know what happens next.
Honey, that's how life works. Ain't none of us knows what happens next.
We're gonna find out together.
That's right.
and the pocket watch drops to the ground.
I'm gonna pick it up.
I pick it up. Miss.
I'll
I'm not gonna roll off with you, Allison.
I'm
right
totally
now.
gonna roll off about that.
You can each make me a dex check. Lower dex check, grabs it before it hits the sand.
Okay.
I'll use an advantage.
Can I destroy it
Hold
before
on.
they get to it?
Calm down. Oh, are you? Are you king? I didn't even use one.
Wait a second. How many points of luck do I need to make that an
Can
extreme?
you calm down? Too many.
Okay, hold on. Before we get into an advantage luck off here, the hands of Sabella Marie Ives and Caitlin Jane O'Callahan cradle and cup the watch before it hits the sands, both of them catching it at the same time, one by chain, one by body. And as Sabella and Kate look at one another, and as Ruby crumples to the ground, and as Dwight looks on, the flap of the tent blows open, and there is no purple swirl, but just the sands. As we pull back from this scene. Almost heaven, West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. It's December 31st, 1933. We are on a mountaintop in West Virginia. The snow is blowing. And as we look over this farm, we see several cabins built around the main house. And one of them says, Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, South. And nestled among the cabins is a family plot. And there are headstones. And on the outside of the wrought iron fence, there is a secondary area with a simple cross and a collar. And it's marked Jake. And inside the wrought iron gate, there are other stones. Doris, Ruth, Elijah Sawyer, and Dr. Greta von Krauss. The main farmhouse door opens, light spilling into the night as the snow swirls. And a young, teenage Abigail Burke runs out and yells over her shoulder, "Just a few minutes, Pa!" "1933's only got a few minutes." Dwight, Kate, Sabella. You walk out onto the porch. What do you do?
Are Phil and the girls there?
Phil Castillo follows you out with both of the girls. He is covered in It would make a Yukon gold digger look warm by comparison, as he is bundled with heavy jacket and scarf, hat pulled down. With the removal of Dietrich Prime, whatever was causing Phil to burn stopped. But he can't burn anymore. But he's not sad, he's happy. And his belly's already starting to come back. And as he walks out, he sees you and he says, I never thought I'd be sorry to see 1933 go, but he looks over towards the plot. Hey, she was a hell of a driver, you know that, Greta.
She was a hell of a person, too.
Now, Lack, you can fucking keep him. You know. And you can tell he doesn't mean it.
No. I just cradle his cheek with my hand. And walk with him over to the stones. And I kneel down next to both of them. Elijah first, and plant a big kiss on it, on the stone. And then scooch over to Greta's. Permission to hug, Doc? And then puts her arms around it.
Phil stands silently behind. He nods to both stones. Dwight, what do you do?
Dwight calls Abigail over to him. Abby, come over. Come here, sweetie.
Yeah, Pa.
He kneels down. And that clock strikes 12. I want you to shoot them guns in the air. Because we're getting the hell out of this year.
She smiles. Will do, Daddy.
I want you to know one thing. Whatever happens from here on out, we're going to do it together. And we're going to protect each other, just like Doc did. Just like Sawyer did. That's how we live. That's how we're always going to live. And I love you, sweetie.
I love you too, Pa.
And he hugs her.
She hugs him back, and when you draw her in close, she whispers in your ear, I'm only shooting my guns off if you shoot yours.
That's all I know how to do, sweetie. And he kind of just embraces her.
Kate.
As Sabella and Phil step down off the porch, Kate almost follows for a second, but then she stays behind. She takes a deep breath of that cold mountain air. It reminds her of home. The mountains in northern Arizona, a place she hadn't been still in a long, long time. She looks up at the stars. For a long moment, she just takes them in. She puts her hands into the pockets of her flight jacket and looks around for a second. Nobody's close by. Out of the pocket, she pulls an envelope, telegram that was delivered just a couple of days before. She opens it up and reads it for probably the 100th time. Going to Washington isn't exactly how she expected to spend the next few years of her life. And she certainly didn't expect to do it without these people that are gathered here, people that have become family to her. But she knows it's what she has to do. And not only is it what she has to do, she's pretty sure it's what she wants to do. She folds the telegram back up, slides it back into her pocket, and her eyes go back up to the stars. And as they do, her hand comes up and she just sort of absently fingers that little pocket watch hanging on a chain around her neck.
And as the scene breaks down, and as Kate experiences a flash of things to come, just on the hillside stands 3 figures unseen by everyone else. A Pope of Malibu, Dr. Greta von Krause, and Elijah Sawyer. And the Pope turns to the other 2. See, I told you they'd be okay. I'm sorry. I was muted for you guys and not for anybody else.
You at all.
I know. So I will say it again. Hey, it wouldn't be the ending without me doing something like that. So I said that as the scene pulls back in a brief look of Kate and things to come, we see 3 figures standing on a hill facing the Burke farm. The Pope of Malibu, Dr. Greta von Krause, and Elijah Sawyer. And the Pope says, "See, I told you they'd be okay. They're gonna be okay."
Of course they are. They're Olympians.
They're competent.
You know, I have to say something that, it's nice that it ended up being the 2 of you, because I hate being the only one that was misunderstood. When I lived on your world, I was so misunderstood. It always had to be you 2. We've got a lot of work to do.
I'm just gonna kind of just nod when he says he was constantly misunderstood. She'd be like, people frequently mistook my genius for madness. I even wound up in an asylum one time. It was just ugh.
I don't know, Pope. Gotta do is... It's very finite sounding. I don't know about have to.
What about vacation? Or lab? Or both?
Both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you want. We have it all. We just have to keep watch. That's our jobs. Just to keep watch.
I think if you could keep watch on vacation, she's gonna kind of just look over at Elijah. Not Borneo, not probably not Germany, not Israel. Locations, ideas.
I have more places I don't want to go to.
Likewise, yeah. I guess we'll just pick a place that we haven't been yet, and then we could probably just go there, see if we hate it.
Probably will.
Mm.
You can. You all have earned it. There must always be a dreamer. Someone to keep the nightmares at bay. We'll help you. We've never had two before, but that has to be better, right?
I think so.
And it's at that moment that the snow swirls. Abigail and Dwight Burke fire guns off into the night, and all through the hollow of West Virginia, the holler of West Virginia. 1933 ends. And the Pope looks at the two of you. You know what you're supposed to do on New Year's Eve. And he turns away.
What is the American custom? I know it's a German custom, but I don't know if they are the same, or if we should just...
We will perform an experiment and compare lab notes.
I like this. And then she'll plant one on him. Have to get a large sample pool, so we should probably, just...
Technically plant one? Like one really, really continuous?
Yeah, we should do a wide range of...
Is that one?
Of different samples, lengths, and durations, and for science.
And as the experiment continues on a hillside unseen, Phil Castillo, freezing to death on a West Virginia mountaintop that still somehow smells like shit, and he's not sure how, turns towards Sabella Ives. Welcome to 1934.
Yeah. I think this year might have a few more surprises for us. And she takes his hand and places it on her belly.
Hey. Sorry, my hand's so cold.
They are freezing, Phil. Your circulation is oddly terrible.
Right? 1934, huh? All right.
And she throws her arms around him and kisses him.
Which he takes like a life preserver given to a drowning man. Or a coat to a very cold one. Abigail Burke throws her arms around her dad's neck as their ears still ring from the shots of the guns fired into the West Virginia night.
Come on, Phil. We got turkey necks up here.
What the hell is he? What does he mean, turkey necks? What's that?
I have no idea. I would have to consult a dictionary. Although I'm not sure that it's in there.
And as we pull from this group of Olympians, we touch the eyes of Caitlin Jane O'Callahan. Eyes that are looking east, towards Washington, towards the future. Bear with me. Gunfire and pots and pans. 1933 is over. The Athenians' duty is done. But someday that ceasefire will crumble, but not this day. For now, the Olympians have saved the world entire. For now, a dreamer. For now, dreamers dream and protect us all. But on the horizon lies just a hint of purple. Just a thought of some unread chapter. Some tales never end. They live with us always and forever. In some ways, Dr. Greta von Krauss will always be charging Ludolf von Alvensleben. She will always be healing. She will forever be locked in a kiss with Elijah Sawyer. Always an Olympian. Because that's how tales work. We can pick up our favorite parts. Dwight Burke will always be punching Jack Kilgrave, always caught in a conflict of faith, always winking down the barrel of a rifle, always living free atop a mountain in West Virginia. The man known as Elijah Sawyer, forever the silver-tongued con man, eternally a swirl of voices, a mosaic of place and personality, forever playing the mob against the middle. Always dreaming. A guardian, maybe reluctant, but a guardian eternal. Sabella Marie Ives will always be the owner of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Forever a rock their enemies smash themselves against. The heart and soul of the Olympians. Dreamer, lover, warrior, big damn hero. Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, forever destroying a zeppelin above the skies of New York City, eternally locked in a struggle of wills against Joseph Diedrich, always in love with Sabella Ives. And forever and ever, America's flying sweetheart. But sometimes, a few pages remain. Stories untold. But not this day. Perhaps someday. It has been my honor be a part of this tale. I started telling this tale in my head when I was a little boy. When bad things happened. I finish it now. As a bigger boy. So very happy. You are the best, Legion. Thank you for helping me tell this tale and adding your sentences and paragraphs to the story of the Olympians, to helping a little boy reach the happily ever after. It is very much appreciated. We will be right back, but first I am going to go bawl my eyes out for about 30 seconds. And for the past year and a half, I have said, well, hello, everybody. And now I simply say, farewell, everybody. All right, everybody. Hey, what's wrong with that guy?
You deserve a complete round of applause, bro. Absolutely. People should just... Amazing job. Amazing job, bro. Amazing.
I've had a tremendous amount of fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm gonna go straight up like I always do to Lauren. Lauren, my friend, how are you?
How am I? So happy. Yeah. Just... yeah. It's my favorite story. It's with my favorite people. I can't talk anymore.
How dare you? Let's go over to my brother Strider. Strider, how are you doing, my friend?
That's a loaded question.
Well, consider it cocked and loaded. buy me some time, damn it. Buy me some time.
Ah, Elijah was a bit of a metaphor from the beginning when I wrote him. He's a personification of struggles with self-esteem, depression. Struggles in your past can sink icy claws into you. And if they do, sometimes they never let go. Maybe Elijah was a bad person. Maybe he was just a product of his environment. We don't know. And that's the point. We don't need to know. Elijah in the end was a nobody. He had no secret weapon. He was always bluffing. His secret weapon was having no fear because he felt he didn't have anything to lose. Elijah Sawyer was so much of a nobody that he was anybody. He was everybody. If he had a moment to address the people he considered his family, he would have told them he didn't really belong there. He thought of himself as a black sheep. He would have also said, "No pain I can experience will be as painful as spending the rest of my life knowing I'm a burden on them. No hell is worse than what I already experience every single day." And of course, he would have wrapped it up with the Mark Twain quote, "I do not fear death. I'd been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born. I had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it." Everyone can change. And though, despite his protests and what he says, he's actually really glad to have someone with him that he can spend forever with. Since the beginning, all he wanted was a moment of quiet and for someone to see something in him that he himself could never see. I appreciate getting to play in this game with my RPG heroes. A fan was born in me watching horror on the Orient Express. Now I'm a friend and a family member. So I feel blessed. I don't know why Greg took a chance on me before we knew each other, but maybe like Elijah, he saw something in me that I didn't see either. But just like Elijah, I'm thankful for the time we all got to spend together.
I told you to buy me time, not kick me when I was down. The hell's wrong with you? I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Could you get... I love you, brother. Steve. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. This was the way this ended was shocking. Unbelievable. You know what, like, I cannot be as eloquent as what Strider was, but the fact that I have found a bunch of people that I love, we talk every day, we joke, we comment, and I just to know that we can do this every week I'd be like, oh, what, get just Sunday, get here, the grind, just so I can play this game, and whatever happens, it happens, and just I harken back to just don't take things for granted. We have such fun. There's so much more fun to come. Life is so good. It is, we're alive, we're kicking, punching, psychic blasting, whatever we're doing. I just love everybody. I love that, Greg, you have told this, you are the catalyst. You have told this story in your brain has, I know we are part of it. We have traveled through it. We've experienced it, but it's the people, the thoughts. I'm so lucky to have met you so long ago, and you've introduced me to these four. Just thank you for everything. Thank you to chat. Thank you for the to walk with us, to help us along the way, because a lot of times I can particularly one in Germany. If I didn't have you, I would have died or been captured. I mean, just there's so many things that I'm thankful for. And I, like I said, I shrug off all the, and we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to be together. So I love everybody. I thank you for putting me in this, because you and these 4 people are amazing. And I'm going to end with it. I want you all to pay attention to them, because they are beautiful people and they are very talented at what they do. And I love everybody, and thank you, and good night. Thank you.
Good night, Mr. Burke. And let's jump over to Dr. Greta von Krause. Lindy, how are you? My longest RP friend.
Well, Greg, I'm a swimming pool full of emotions in a 5-gallon bucket. So, say how I feel right now, and I don't know what will. Yeah, this has been a lot. It's likewise, you're basically my longest RP hardcore Cthulhu buddy, and it's just, we've been through so many amazing adventures, and then you're like, hey, how about Pulp? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm gonna make a Nazi that's gonna betray the party. And you were like, that's cool. And so then I met the party and made friends, and then friends became family, and it's just been such a fantastic experience. And it's been a roller coaster of emotions and joy, despair, sadness, happiness, all sorts of things, and I can't even words right, but it's just been phenomenal and amazing, and I just can't wait to all the further adventures we get to have together, because you guys are awesome, and this is just wonderful. You guys are amazing, and I love telling stories with you and typing up at 3 a.m, or with many of you, like conspiracy theories, and I'm like, oh, I ship this, and just all sorts of crazy shenanigans, and I love it, and I can't wait for more. But yeah, Greta von Krause had she did her thing, and she couldn't watch the person she loved die, and so she had to join him, and then it turned out okay in the end. So it was an adventure, and it was amazing, and I'm probably gonna binge rewatch this whenever I have a spare second that I'm not playing other tabletop RPGs, because this whole story of Project Athena has been absolutely amazing.
Thank you, my friend. And my last friend. Allison, how are you?
I am so very grateful to have had this opportunity. This story has not only been the greatest story I've ever experienced, much less been a part of, but this story has literally changed my life. For those of you in chat that don't know, and I don't know how you couldn't, but although Kate O'Callahan may not get the girl, Allison Dillon Robinson can and does, and all of that happened because of this world and this story. And my life is so full of love. I'm like you, Greg. Kate has been with me for as long as I can remember. And there were times over the last 14 months or so when I despaired that I wasn't going to be able to give her the the ending that she deserved. But you told me to trust you, and Lauren also told me to trust you lots of times. And you were right. And so Kate's story continues for me, and all of your stories do, because as you know, I'm a compulsive writer, and I'm going to be writing Project Athena stories for the next 25 years at least. I've loved playing with each one of you, and I have so many happy memories, so many fun moments. And Greg, you most of all. It's your world, and we've just been lucky enough to get to live in it for a little while. And so the last thing I'll just say is to the Legion, we won because you were our inspiration. You were our power when we had none. You made us Olympians. So thank you.
A 1,000 times. Thank you to the Legion. It's a collective narrative. It always has been and always will be. And that's the best part about these stories. We become a community, we tell a tale. That's what we do here. And I'm happy to announce that the stories continue. They always continue. And I cannot wait to take you all through the next. Wait a minute. Something just come in. What do you mean I'm not going to be the keeper next season? Allison's the keeper next season? Oh shit. Allison?
Yes, Greg?
What are we doing next season? What's going on?
Well, the story of the Athenians ends on January 1st, 1934. But 9 years in the future, it's winter, 1942, and the world is at war. As the fires of Pearl Harbor still smolder, America rushes to mobilize and join the fight. Meanwhile, the forces of Imperial Japan sweep across the Far East. When Allied intelligence learns that Emperor Hirohito is seeking a mysterious artifact, one that allegedly made the army that once possessed it invincible, the call goes out. America needs her Olympians. A new generation of Olympians will rise. A torch will be passed. A legacy will be inherited and earned. Legion, my friends, welcome to Project Hyperion, 1942. Starting in just a couple of weeks, I believe. Isn't that right, Greg?
It is. It looks like I'm playing. Thank God. I'm an emotional mess.
You invited Greg, Allison?
Yes, I think.
It's his channel. Of course I invited Greg. This just means I get the chance to do to him what he's been doing to us for the last 14 months. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Keep that in mind, him.
Yeah, him.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I cannot wait for Project Hyperion. Legion, thank you all so much. Everyone, look at this fantastic group I have around me. We will be back in one form or another, and the tales within the world of Project Athena and Project Kronos continue. Project Hyperion is the next chapter. And some surprises. But unless anybody has anything else to say, Lauren?
Fuck you, Greg.
I was gonna say he's gonna get his character fisted in Hyperion, but yeah, that works too.
That's so horrible, Greg. I love you.
I love you, Greg.
We all love
Fine.
you so much, Greg.
Fine, whatever, fine. But no, I appreciate you all very much. I love you all very much. And what we're going to do here is always, the tales keep coming. Hyperion is coming. We have May Black Roses Bloom, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So much fun. Highlanders coming to the channel. But what we're going to end is, we're going to end with what will be on tomorrow night. From our own salty as fuck Ginger. I get to play in that one too, everybody. Tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. Come join us in the Wild Blue. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you are on the fence, watch this. And after this, know that we all love you. And as the campfire on Project Athena dies, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. Good night, family.